My name is Carlos. I'm the Accidental Chef, and welcome to Louisiana Kitchen at Rouse's. And we're glad you're here tonight. We're going to make, I'm going to make one of my favorite dishes. I'm going to make popovers, which are my absolute favorite. And I'm going to make a lobster sauce to go in, and we're going to kind of, they're miniature popovers, so we're going to open the top and put the lobster bisque inside and then eat them like ice cream cones like we're at the beach. And then we're going to have a wedge salad, and we're going to have some asparagus. So I'm going to bring my heat back up on this. It's been a little coffee in here because I put some crab boil in there, I mean like a half a teaspoon, and it's just been so fragrant. I don't know why that is, but anyway, so let's, back here. You can, oh yeah, well there was somebody coughing in the parking lot. I'm sure it was from that. So I'm going to bring this back up to a boil and throw my lobster tails in there, and I'm just going to let them cook for about 7 to 10 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and make my popovers so we can get them right in the oven. The fire isn't on. Thank you. I wondered why it wasn't boiling. I'm the Accidental Chef, so if you find the accident first, you will be the person who will win tonight. And we have a huge prize. Donnie Ross has just returned from Australia, and he's brought back some souvenirs, and one of them will be the prize tonight if you're the first one to see the accident. Okay, so we've got milk. Popovers are very, very simple. Milk, eggs, and flour, and salt. So we've got milk that I've warmed here. I'm going to add it to these 8 eggs. You know, if you'd ever make crepes, it's kind of like that because it's, you want to constantly be whisking as you're adding your milk so that your eggs don't clabber or begin to do like that. Put that in there. Okay. Very nice. I just warmed the milk, hardly scalded. Then I'm going to add the egg mixture to my flour, which already has the salt in it, a tablespoon and a half of salt, quite a bit of salt. Get that flour mixed in there, and then we're going to put the batter in the pans, which are in the oven. You heat the pan in the oven. You know, the pan, which we'll see in a minute, is kind of cyclone shaped. It's kind of a cone, which when the cooking process forces the pop and forces it to come up. All right, just get that combined. Almost like a pancake batter. Very thin. Crepes. One like that. Looks like I'm getting the lumps out. Combining nicely. You know, in the whisk, the whisk is all in the wrist. Keeping that thing. All right. Fun. All right, I'll take the first one out. These are a miniature popover. So I'm just going to spray them with some Pam. Some salt. Just a little bit more than 1/3 of a cup. I'm just kind of eyeballing it so it gets to almost to the brim of my pan. They say that you can do this. Now, the British make something called Yorkshire pudding. This is they roast their roast, and then they take it out and they pour the batter into the roasting pan with the drippings and bake it, and it makes a solid kind of bread. So that's what they call the pudding. Just like plum pudding, you know, it's really like, plum pudding's really like bread pudding. Pam. Yes, ma'am. Now, after I took it out the oven. right. Just always remember that it's hot. You know, when it comes. Don't forget it. Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, I would be interested to see how it would do without it, because these pans have some kind of coating on them. But I have a larger one with 6 that makes the big one. Well, you cook it. How long do you cook this?
Bigger one.
About the same. It's really the same. It doesn't, the recipe doesn't qualify. I was wanting to cook them. This is the strangest story. I was real interested in finding out how to cook them, and I had some, and then my daughter went off to college at Belhaven in Jackson, so we went up for, for the family visit, and she had befriended this Sicilian girl at orientation, so they became fast friends. So when we went up for the visit, we stayed in their home, and they, of course, live in Jackson. I'm sorry? Oh gosh, thank you so much. Thank you. No, Donnie, yeah, I don't know if he brought enough tonight. Jeez, thank you so much. Anyway, the woman's like a cook, really into cooking. She has a food blog. And I'm going, really? I said, do you know how to make popovers? And she says, oh, I have the perfect recipe. And she gave me her recipe, and it's been really good. And because you read different recipes, some people heat the pan, some people don't. I guess if you're using the pan that the pot roast was baked in, it would be hot, so that would make a reason why you would. Now this is Gruyere cheese that you can't get Gruyere at your local market. Shop at Rouse's. We always have it. And or use Swiss cheese. A lot of times you can substitute Gruyere for Swiss if you're in a bind. Okay. All right. Thanks so much about the cheese. Perfect. Perfect. Good, good. All right. Back in the oven. Did I tell you I got these racks on Amazon? They have, you know, Amazon has everything. Okay, perfect. We're going to set them for 15 minutes, and then we're going to turn them 180 degrees. The last time I baked them here, I turned the oven down to 180 degrees. They didn't quite pop. But when I realized and I brought the heat up, I'm going to throw my lobster in here, make a mess there. All right. Now, that's just going to cook like that. I added some lemon, some onion, and bay leaf to the water to make this, and I'm going to reserve the stock for my sauce. Okay? So then I'm just going to let that cook. Excuse me? No, this is real lobster. They're not those kind of like Croatian or whatever they call those things. No, those are the ones. This is, but they're lobster like they have in the tank with the big claw. Maine lobster, for lack of a better term. All right. Well, let's see what we're going to do next. We'll make our lobster sauce. I'll wait on that. I'm going to go ahead and make a salad. I'm going to make a wedge salad tonight. So it's pretty easy. I'm just going to put this over here and turn my fire off. And I browned some bacon while y'all were waiting, or while I was waiting for y'all to get here. The wedge salad's real easy. I'm going to cut the iceberg lettuce in to wedges. How about that? A wedge salad. The lettuce is cut into wedges. Hey, keep it simple. And so, it's the only time I use iceberg. You know, because iceberg almost all water. The greener the lettuce, the higher vitamin value it has. So this one is 97% water. It's like being at the beach when they have red tide. Okay. All right, I'm gonna cut that like that. Then I'm just gonna come back with a little wedge serving like that. How many do we have now? 12, all right? Usually it's SRO in here, so I don't know what's up. Everybody must be at the beach.
Nobody likes lobsters.
Well, there's that. Well, it wasn't on the list, so they wouldn't have known either way. You know what I'm saying? And we certainly know if it was something I said, no one would ever come back. All right, there we go. Do I have 12? 4, 8, 12. Yeah, good. Very easy. Very easy. I'm going to put purple onion that I cut very thin into kind of rings. I'm just going to put that all over everything, including the floor. Wonderful. Okay. Then I'm going to put more than our share of blue cheese. You gotta love that. You gotta love that. There we go. Oh my God. That's it. Now we're going to chop some bacon. I love bacon. There's no reason not to love bacon. All right.
I saw you cheat, take it slow.
Oh yeah, got a good son. Don't muzzle the ox. That's right. I wanted to make sure for you. For you. I took in the nitrates for you.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
There we go. All right. How are we doing so far? Good? Good, good? All right. Now I'm going to put a little salt on it right now because I want the lettuce to kind of open up. So the salt is going to, sitting on the lettuce is going to kind of make it kind of begin to break down. I probably should have put it before I put the other stuff, but who knew? All right. Then we'll add some balsamic vinegar. There we go. Get that baby up here. I think I like that. I love the smell of balsamic. All right.
Have you ever used the fig vinegar?
Fig?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was looking over there, when you call it county, they have fig balsamic. They just had a fig.
Fake or fig?
Fig.
Fig.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, uh-huh.
What do you use it for?
Like this. In some place where you want something a little sweeter, like if you're using a salad that you would put fruit in, like if you're making the pear and gorgonzola, you want your dressing to have a little sweetness in it, you could use it there. Or just, you know, some balsamics are so delicious you can just drink them. So, all right. Did we put olive oil? No, not yet. All right, great. I'm gonna add some olive oil, not much. All right. Looks like our lobsters are cooking. All right. It said about 8 minutes, so we're 7 minutes from 15 is how many? 8. Good. Thanks. All right, now we've got stock, we've got lobster, we've got butter and olive oil in here to start our bisque. I have to admit, I put bacon grease in with the butter and the olive oil. A third fat, I'm sorry, I just couldn't have that much bacon grease and not use it. Okay? I've got 3/4 of a cup of it back there just for later, just in case. All right, we've got, let's see what we got. Now, the recipe, does it call for flour? Yeah, in the stock. Okay, I'm going to use just a little, just because that's just what I do. I don't know how that recipe got in there without any little flour, but anyway, I'm going to thicken a little. I've got shallots here. You know, shallots look like little large garlics or elephant garlic. You know, they're big and kind of oval shaped, round. They usually buy the bulk garlic that's where they are in our store and by the produce counter. They're kind of purple in color like the other onions we used on this salad. This is great. You have any prohibition to serving the salad now? Neither me. There we go. Here. There you go. Let me get some of this good stuff right here. Okay. Gonna get a piece of bacon for them then. There we go. You can set them right there on the table. Yummy. Oh, lemon's too big, just set it off the side. There you go. You can spend anywhere from $3 a bottle to $50 a bottle on balsamic vinegar. It's really wine, so it's got that whole range, depending on the age or whatever you're doing. All right, so I'm going to add my scallops and my garlic to that and let that begin to caramelize. All right. I'm going to try one of these bad boys. Do what? Yes, ma'am. I've got 1 minute and 17 seconds before they're rotated 180 degrees. All right. Any questions about the salad? Easy to do. Great presentation. Now, if it was me, I was having a dinner party, I'd set my plates, I'd put my wedge on every plate and do them each on their own plate. That way they're not moved. So, yummy. All right. Now, to process my lobster, I'm going to just cut the, there's that pleasant bing of the timer. Fun! See, they're already popping up. All right. My mother's. That's the best compliment that anyone can give me. It tastes just like my grandmother. Kitchen scissors? You think we own such a thing? All right, then I'm just gonna. Now, if I had kitchen shears and I was in a real kitchen, I would cut up the middle of this membrane in the bottom, and then just open it up this way.
Now you're gonna burn your hand.
Do what?
Now you're gonna burn your hand.
Oh, I'll be all right.
That's those shells. Yeah,
Teflon. My grandmother, she wouldn't even use a hot pad to take stuff out of the oven. I never could figure that one out. Really.
his mother was like that too.
His mother? They were probably
They were
sisters.
Italian.
Yeah, okay. No scissors, really? Oh, God, you know. Okay. All right. Good? Wonderful.
Can I ask you why you use the crab oil?
You know, it was there.
You wanted to solve it.
I would have, if I would have, you know, I see it, I should have used the Old Bay rather than the crab oil, but I wasn't thinking, and it's real easy. All right. Doesn't dress out very much. Okay. Get my garlic and that kind of a nice slow simmer there. As a rule, I add a tablespoon of flour to a tablespoon of butter, or maybe 2 tablespoons of butter to 1 tablespoon. So I've got about a stick of butter in here, maybe a tablespoon of olive oil, and maybe a teaspoon of bacon fat. So I'm going to add a little bit more flour to that, okay? That seems like enough to everyone? All right, great. So I'm going to... Now we've got consensus on the flour. I'm feeling a lot better. So we're going to just kind of combine that, like if you were making a roux, you know, fun. All right. All right, I'm just going to let that sort of thicken a little. Now, we're also going to have a side of asparagus. I've cut the asparagus off, fresh asparagus, mostly about where it pops. Okay, is a good rule of thumb of where to cut it off. Usually it's where it begins to get white. So I probably cut this much off of the fried asparagus. So this has got a fresh vegetable setting, which is about 3 minutes. So it's just going to kind of blanch them. Then we're going to roast them in the oven. Okay? How does that sound? I haven't put anything on them yet. I'm going to season them with butter and lemon before I roast them. Okay, now I've got this like I want it. I'm going to add a little white wine. Whenever I cook with white wine, I use vermouth. Cheap, dry. It's got a screw top, so you know if you don't use it all, you're just using it for cooking. And God knows I don't need it in my martini. See how the wine makes the sauce kind of get thicker? The glutinous of the flour sort of changes its consistency. All right, there we go. All right, it calls for sherry too, huh? It did? Well, we're going to do both. We're going to add this to this. I forgot. Okay. This is the tomato paste. Get that good and combined. This is kind of how we started our zuppa. You remember we made that fish soup and we started it this way and then just sort of started adding the stock until we were good and ready. Add a little sherry to this. Work that into my, I got a little sherry ravine right there. Alright. How's that looking so far? It's a beautiful thing. Alright. Alright. Alright, we're going to add a little stock to this. Fun. I put the crushed red pepper in the stock, so I'm not going to put any in here. Okay? It's the nice thing about it. When you make your own stock, you can bring all your flavor and your seasoning in your stock so that when you bring it into your dish, you don't have to season again. How we looking? The asparagus, the microwave went off. All right, put a little bit more. I just kind of eyeball it. Add it slowly because you can't reduce it, you know, too much with the flour. All right, so let's let that, would you go get me some fresh parsley? Thank you. She's too kind. Let's give it up for Sheena. You can see how they really look, aren't they? A beautiful color. That's just from 3 minutes in the, or whatever it was. They're crunch tender, so they're just right. Nothing worse than overcooked asparagus. Right? Oh, okay. Well, it's a whole nother dimension. I don't even compare them because I love canned asparagus, fresh tomatoes, and mayo. That's my favorite. But anyway, oh, I love that.
Never used canned asparagus.
Oh my gosh. But anyway. All right. Any questions? I'm going to add a little, oh, this is lovely. I'm going to add a little bit more. So we've got some time for it to reduce, so I'm going to do this and let it come back. There we go. Very nice. And then we're going to add I'm going to mince the lobster, and then I'm going to finish it with a little touch of heavy cream just so it's smooth for everyone. Okay, and we're already coughing, so we need that heavy cream to kind of help our throats feel better. Right? Of course, right. All right, here we go. Lovely, lovely. All right, little kosher salt. All right, a little bit of coarse pepper. Okay, and what does it say? Lemon juice? Lemon juice and butter. Butter. Let the butter begin. Okay, I'm real tempted to melt the butter. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. You know, clearly I don't need your permission. That's right. Oh, perfect. Thanks, Sheena. Just set it over there. That'd be great. Thank you so much. Where's my little, All right. Very nice. Isn't that pretty? Right. Any questions about that? Yep. I didn't bring my lemon squeezer, but I'm just going to use this little thing so I don't get any seeds. Although I think seeds are good because then they know it's not Cisco. It's real food, not from some industrial.
Got a real juicy lemon.
I do. Well, you know what too? This lemon's been zest. So when the lemon is zest, it squeezes a lot easier without the without the peel on there. Very nice. Drizzle a little butter over that.
All good healthy things tonight.
We'll do what?
All good healthy things, was it like the bacon and the butter and the...
Yeah. Listen, it's between you and your cardiologist, which I'll discuss.
Bacon's not made in a factory.
That's exactly right, and neither is this is not oleo.
That's right, it's not made in a
This is butter. All natural. All right, I'm just going to leave that blob right there. This is looking fun. Let's take a look at our popovers. Hey, that's a beautiful thing. Okay, we got about 8 minutes left on those bad boys. All right. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop my lobster up. And put it in my, oh my God, look at that. I do. You know, these cost about $6 or $7. And they're about 4 ounces. So if you look at the ones that are live, they're $13 a pound. So it takes 4 or 5 of these to make a pound. So that's north of $25. So the other two of the other lobster, which would give you the claw meat and other meat, might be a better way to go. Because that tail on a 1 pound lobster is going to be at least 8 ounces. Do what? Oh, yes. I had a client one time, he says, I want really big lobster. Well, when it gets over a pound, the price changes. Well, those on hoof, they came in right at $70 a piece. I'm thinking, really? You like these people you're having for dinner. They're not as tasty? They're tougher?
They're tougher.
Okay. Right. That's it. Okay. Right. Those prawns. All right. I'm going to stick my asparagus in with my popovers. How we doing here? Looking good. Go ahead and put my meat in there. How's that shot, Danny? There we go. Toss that around like that. Let that cook into there. Okay, thank you. Chop a little parsley. I just felt it needed a little touch of green at the end. All right. Good. All right. Yum. Gosh. Now what was it? You ate in Paris that was so good?
Beer cheese was on a monsieur in Paris.
Yes.
And then how they serve it at the French press in Lafayette.
How do they serve it there?
Paris, everything's dry.
No, but I mean, how do they serve it?
They add lettuce, tomatoes, they dress it up.
Like a sandwich. At French press? Fun.
That's if you can pass them the oyster too.
Yeah, well,
I can't.
they have lots of good stuff there. Okay. Yes, and then he wouldn't be there, and you wouldn't have that makes all the difference. Now I make another little thing. It's called, I can never say it, but it's gour. I think I made them here. You make with flour and the Gruyere, and then they're little puffs. They're little cheese puff balls that are really good and really easy. You mix the flour and the egg and the milk, and then you stir in the Gruyere, and then the batter's more elastic than that, and you make little balls and then on parchment. Yeah, kind of, but it's not that big. It's just like a little, something you can just pop in your mouth, and I just have them ready, and once the people hit the door, I put them in the oven, and then the wafts, all the smell, and then they can't stop eating them.
Is it basically the same batter?
Close. No, it's very close. It's got less eggs. You do the flour and the milk, and then you add each one egg at a time, working your batter in, and then you add the cheese at the end. You take it off the stove.
But you use less liquid.
Yes. I want to say 2 cups of flour and a half a cup of milk, or a cup of milk and a stick of butter, and then you add the flour to that. I think that's how it works. Lovely, lovely. What you think, Sha? Can you go see if you can, in the wine section, they got those little plastic wine glasses? You know, they kind of pop together. I forgot to look. Well, you were going to just set the popover in the wine glass so it's going to stand up on your plate, and then we'll fill it with this. Oh. So.
Drink a bottle of wine.
I'm serious, and you need a nice wine, a good Pinot Noir with that tomato and seafood. It's got good and mixed in. Isn't that pretty? There's our Bing. Now I think I set these at 25, it said 35, so I'm going to give them 5 more minutes. All right? Just so they brown up some more. Very nice. Whoa, that corner got hot. Yummy. It's taking everything everything in me not to throw this butter in there. So set it over here. Whoa. How much cream does it call for? It doesn't matter, but what does it say? 2 tables. You think we're there yet? You found them? Aren't you the greatest? I love Rouse's. You know, our new store is coming at South City Parkway in Johnston. So they're saying October. Yeah, and it's going to be more Epicurean. It's going to go straight at Whole Foods. So, gonna be fun. Any questions about anything you've seen here tonight? All right. The asparagus are also done. I've added 3 more minutes, so I'm up to almost my full 35 minutes. So when that timer goes off, I'm just gonna take them out and we're just gonna go with it, okay? All right? We're just gonna live with the results, as they say. All right. I told y'all about Boudreaux and Thibodeau.
Not yet.
Well, Boudreaux was walking down the street and Tib was on his porch and he was crying. He says, Tib, what's the matter? He says, oh, Boo, it's my parents. He says, Tib, your parents have been dead for 10 years? He says, I know. They were in town Tuesday voting for Obama and they didn't call. Poor Boo. There you go. All right. How many minutes we got here? I'm growing real impatient. It says 14 seconds. Well, the hot pads have disappeared. There we go. I don't know how I lose that, but it always seems to lose it. All right. Let's pull out these bad boys. Oh, is that a beautiful thing, huh? What fun is that? Life is good. This is civility at its best. Aren't they fabulous? And look, they just kind of pop right out. And we're just going to pop them in there once they cool about a minute. All right? And then we have our asparagus, which have just been simmering in the lemon and butter. Ooh. Okay. Set that there to cool. Kill my ovens. Any questions? Huh? What fun is this? Now, when we cut this baby, It's a little hollow on the inside. That would be the reservoir for the bis. Huh? Good. Now this is real. This is what you call chef-inspired recipes. Because one day I was just thinking about these, and I don't know if I had ever eaten them, or I just thought about it, and I did some research. The pan came up, and then I met this woman serendipitously. I told you in Jackson. So anyway, isn't that wonderful? Ooh, shy baby, shy my baby. You want to get a plate? Oh my God. Look at that. Is that fun or what? Yeah, just set that right there. And I'll do these, and you get the plates, and we'll get some asparagus on the plate, and then we'll put one on the plate as we get on the plate, and then the other plate, and then 2 plates, and then everybody will have a plate. And see, that one's got a big hole, big kind of gaping, and it's just fluffy and eggy and floury, and it's just wonderful. Can you stand it? Come on. We can just use the tongs with the asparagus.
What happens if you don't heat up that pan first?
You know, it's kind of like, some people say to do it, some people, not every recipe says that. I've done it both ways. And they'll pop up anyway. They pop up either way. I think these might have needed to go a little bit longer, but I think they'll be okay. Yeah, I would have cooked them 5 more minutes. Just let them get real dark, like the bottom, and let them cool all the way, so that they're real crispy. How we doing? Oh, those are pre-measured glasses. All right. How about the asparagus? Are they crisp? How easy was that? Isn't it fun? And if they were stiffer, I could have popped them right out of the pan, because what's making them stick is the cheese. The cheese would have still been hot, and it just flipped right out of the pan. Then I could have just set them up in here or wherever I wanted. But they needed to. They really need. They need all of those 35 minutes, maybe 40. Now, the other thing, I'm always concerned that this gets too dark. But I had it on the bottom rack. Had I put it on the middle rack, it would have been better. But not too.
better.
I know. Not too high to the top because I had that happen once too. They popped up into the element on top and I had to get them all out of that. Oh. Who knew? Oy vey. Well, half the people didn't show up, so it's your lucky night. You want more, just come my way.
Once we'll forgive you for not cooking bread.
For not cooking good, for not having good bread, huh? Well, I figured this was bread. Who knew? You people are never satisfied. We're going up on the price as a culling mechanism.
So critical.
Tell me, how's that lobster?
You should use crawfish.
You could what?
You use crawfish or shrimp or anything like that. You want to use the lobster?
Well, you could. It wouldn't sound as good on the menu.
Yeah. Lobster Popovers.
The crawfish and the lobster has such that unique texture and flavor, you know. And sometimes, you know, we just get tired of shrimp and crawfish. Never. Okay. Any questions? Carl's.
Tom Benetti.
Manetti?
Benetti.
Badetti.
Yeah.
Are you Sicilian?
Half. The other half, Napolitano.
Is what?
Napolitano.
That'll kill you.
That's right.
Are you Sicilian on your mother's side?
Yeah.
And what was her name?
Madonna.
Madonna? Madonna.
Lady Madonna.
Yeah, okay. All right.
She's no lady.
That's right. It's the Madonna. It's not, Madonna's not.
My mother's first name was Elvis.
Elvis.
And
What's the last name?
she died at 102, so I mean, she was before.
Come on. You want another one?
I don't know what.
Let me put this on your plate. There you go. There you go. Don't be shy, boo.
I'm not sure.
There you go. This. Where was she raised?
Well, we grew up in New York,
Oh, what part?
the Bronx.
Oh, all right. How'd you get here?
It's all part of the witness protection program.
Oh, all right. I'm fine with that. No, all my family was Cosa
I
Nostra.
actually grew up in Florida.
Oh, all right.
New York, grew up in Florida.
Okay.
I went to law school at LSU.
Oh, all right.
Been here ever since.
Married a Cajun?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Is your middle name Marie? Anne. You know Marie, the Blessed Mother. Anne's her mother. You what?
Guess who the father was? Joaquin.
Joaquin.
Joaquin, I read it today. It's their saint tomorrow from a Christian calendar.
And that was Aunt Mary's father.
Mary's father was
Like Joaquin, the actor? That's J or Q? J.
J-A-I-Q.
Okay. Well, that's cool. That's good to know. I'm sorry there's no dessert.
We'll be back next
Sugar
time.
documentary.
Isn't that good? There we go. I'm loving these asparagus. Okay, well, there it is. Thank you, thank you.